Well, the dangers of leaving children in a hot car are definitely a national topic tonight after a little boy died this week. His father now charged with murder. Police in Cobb County, Georgia say 33-year-old Justin Harris was supposed to drop his 22-month-old son at daycare, but instead he left for work and left the little boy in the SUV all day. When he returned, he noticed his son was in the back seat, but the boy was dead. Now in Middle Tennessee, a mother whose 2 young children died after she left them in a hot car 2 years ago pleaded guilty in court yesterday. As part of that plea deal, Samantha Harper was sentenced to 16 years. She must serve at least 8. Now, these stories, a tragic reminder of heat-related accidents all across our country, which, of course, doctors believe can be prevented. Joining us now with much more is 6 News anchor Lori Tucker tonight. Lori?
Well, Kristen, you know, on average, 38 children die every year in heat-related accidents. That's according to safety advocate Kids and Cars. Even the best of parents or caregivers can unknowingly leave a sleeping baby in a car, and the result could be injury or, as we've learned, even death. Well, joining us now with more is Dr. Ryan Redmond, ER Director at East Tennessee Children's Hospital. Thank you so much for being here and talking about this important topic. First of all, let's talk about what happens to a child's body during a heat stroke.
So certainly, children are much more susceptible to adults to heat injury. Their bodies heat up faster. They have a higher body surface area ratio compared with adults. So they can suffer the bad effects from heat stroke a lot quicker than adults would.
And what are some of those?
So initially, of course, you see profuse sweating followed by kind of the cessation of sweating, and then mental status changes, trouble breathing, and of course in really bad tragic cases like we've seen in the news lately, it can result in death.
So horrifying to think about what those little ones went through in that hot car alone in these cases. So obviously top prevention is don't leave your child in the car, but let's think of some other reminders that we can tell ourselves when we are traveling with our children.
Absolutely, because most people understand that this is something that you don't want to do for any extended period of time or even a brief amount of time, because cars can heat up extremely fast, especially in hot weather. You're looking at 40 degrees within 20 minutes. That's a significant rise, so you need to make sure that every time, even brief stops, you're taking your kids out of the car.
And you should do that anyway for safety's sake, shouldn't you?
Absolutely, but even more tragic are these stories where people kind of forget that their kids are in the car, especially if they're not part of the routine of taking them to daycare every day or dropping them off at the same time every day. So doing things like making sure that you're checking the back seat every time you get out of the car, even when you know 100% that you have not taken your child, if you make that part of your routine, it makes these things much less likely.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go, even if you don't forget your child in a hot car, cars do heat up. You're shopping, you go back out to the car, put your child in the car seat. There are pieces of metal all around in the car that can be really hot and can scorch a child. That can cause some injuries too, and has.
Oh, absolutely. And so you usually want to, especially on a hot day, when you're coming back to the car, open up the doors, give a little minute for everything to kind of cool off, and watch what you're having them touch as you're getting them back in.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Hopefully this will give people a kickstart to just double think what they're doing. Thank you so much, Dr. Redmond. And if you have a question about your child's health, just send me an email to ltucker@wate.com, and be sure to watch us every Thursday here on 6 News at 5:30. We may have a topic that is of interest to you here at 5:30.